Hi guys, welcome back to another Craft with Me video. I apologize for not posting yesterday. I had contractors outside doing some work and they were making a lot of ruckus, and so I decided let's change it to today. And like that I know that I'm by myself. So here in front of me I have these cabinet cards. Now these are the ones that I actually bought at a thrift shop, and if you didn't see that video, I'll see if I can find it and link it down below. But I found these and I'm super excited. This is the only one that has the actual whole advertisement on the back, but I just absolutely love these. And I actually bought more, and I'll share that in another haul. But I thought, why don't we try and make our own? And so I checked and I Googled to see what the normal, these are all the same size. Now these are measuring 4 1/4 by 6 1/2. And so we are going to make one of these, but then because we're crafters, we can, you know, actually do whatever size we want. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, unless you want to try to be as close as possible. Then there you have it, 4 1/4 by 6 1/2. So there it is, that's the base. Now I went in and I started looking around to see what I can find, and I got one of the frame dies that I have and just kind of check to see how that looked. Now I probably wouldn't, this is just a sample, and so I probably wouldn't use the orange like this, but I just wanted to see how it would fit if we didn't have a bigger size photo. And so I thought maybe this could work, and so I actually like it. I would just change the color orange on it, but other than that, I used a bunch of my different stamps, and I'll share those with you in a minute. And of course, because these actually have some type of really pretty border around it, and then the little ad thing in the middle, and so I thought, let's try it out. So I used a stencil that I have, and then I used some stamps for the inside, and I think it's turned out cute. Now this one is more of the realistic size, and so this one is I think this is the same size, the 4 1/4 by 6 1/2, and I used the Found Relatives, the Tim Holtz portraits pictures, and so I thought that they actually worked out pretty well. The bigger size, I have a lot of them, so I thought, why not, you know, try to use those up. And now, because I've been making so many, I think I need to buy more. But again, I used a lot of the stamps that I have. I put a little bit of the little splatters on the edges, and that one is actually this one, and I love this splatter. And this one is on the Examination stamp set, the Tim Holtz, and it has a bunch of these little ad things on the bottom, but I'm only using this for right now. So I have that. Now let me show you a different size of them. I made smaller ones, and I really like the way these came out. Look at how cute these are. And so here we have another, just a little frame die, and this one is actually solid in the front, in the middle. And so all I did was I cut this out with the same die, and then I just kind of cut around where that middle part is and made it fit, made it look like if it was an actual frame. And then I used again my stamp, and I actually used an embossing folder to emboss the back. And then here is the back. Now, if you don't have the French ads 1 and 2 from the Tailor-Made Journals stamp sets, then, you know, you can kind of use whatever you have on hand. And so I just used a little rose, and I'll show you those stamps in a minute. So there's that one. Again, I used the embossing folder on this one, and I did use the French ad, and I just kind of cut that out and put that there. And there is the back. Here is another one. I used just half of the stamp on this one. I didn't do any of the embossing folders on that one. And there's that. And then here's this one. And there's the back. So because I know that, you know, they like to use like a little bit of color in theirs, So this one has the beige and the browns in it, and I've seen ones that have like the different colors, like I've seen these with the Tim Holtz, and so I kind of use this kind of again as my inspiration. And so again, you have them all in like different shades. And so look, here's a pink one. And so I thought, why not? Let's try different colors. And so I like it. I like the way it looks. So we're gonna make a big one and a small one. So we'll make the big one just normal like this. We'll decorate the back, and then we'll make a small one using the embossing folders. So let's get started. I already have the paper already cut out for the big one. So let me get that out. Here I have it here. And I'm going to be using this picture. And I've already cut everything out. So this is measuring, it's actually measuring a little bit smaller. This one is 4 1/8 wide and 6.5 tall. So because I use the decal edge, and I actually like it. And so that's the base here, and this one is measuring 3 3/4 by 6 1/8. And I'll make sure that I put those measurements down in case you want to add that. So let me put, what did I say? 6 1/8. I'm writing it down so I don't forget. By 3 3/4. So that's just my base. I'm going to take out a scratch piece that I've been working on. There you have it. And for this project, I'm going to be using gathered twigs and walnut stain. So the gathered twigs is more to kind of get in there, and I'm going to use my blending brush. And we're just going to go in and start blending around the edges, just to kind of make it look a little bit more worn. Start from the edge and then work your way towards the middle. Now you don't have to worry about doing the actual middle part, maybe the bottom, only because the picture is going to be covering that part. So I'm just going to be going around, and that's good. And then I'm going to go in with my walnut stain and go around the edges so that it's just a little bit darker. Okay. And then I'm going to use the walnut stain on this side, just to get a darker edge around here. And we're done. Now here, I'm going to start showing you where I have what stamps I'm going to be using. So let me move this. Now for the border, this is for the back. I need a little something to put in the front. So I've been getting out all of my fun stamps. This one is Correspondence from the Past by Elizabeth Craft Designs. I like it because it has some dates on it. It has some addresses on it, which I like. This one is Sampool. Again, maybe more for the numbers on these, because apparently they like to number them sometimes. Like there was some on here that were numbered. Oh, that's just a different, see? This one has an actual like little number on it, and so I thought that might be fun to add that. This is the one that I use to stamp on the back, so I love that one. So there's that. And then we have the French Ads 1 and 2 by Tailor Made Journals. And I absolutely love these. These are so pretty, and they're actually a lot bigger. So you can use the bigger ones in the back. So let's go ahead and start using these and see which one I want to use to kind of put down here. Let me see. Yeah, I have a pretty good amount of space. So I think I'm going to kind of see what is going to work here. See that? I might have to, that one might be too big. But again, we don't have to use the whole thing. Like, for example, this one, I only used the top part. I didn't use this that says Rue des Fabriques. I didn't use that part. So it doesn't have to be the whole thing. So let's see. I could just add maybe this stamp that has that on it. You know what I mean? But I kind of liked maybe I'm gonna do this one. But I'm not gonna ink the whole thing. And this one is Thiessen. It's gonna be this one, and I'm just gonna ink this part of it. So we'll see how that works. Just to put on the bottom here. I have out all of my little blocks. So I'm gonna do it this way. And I'm going to get a scratch piece of paper. Let me get something here. Okay. And I'm gonna kind of try to block it. So like that, it doesn't go through all the way. So I'm gonna try to block it. Okay, I think that's good. Let me do a little bit further out. All right, if it's not all the way, it's fine. I just want that little piece here on the bottom. So let's try to center this. I think that's okay. Right here. See, look at how good that looks. Oh, so good. Okay. So that was perfect. So let me put this back because and then I get all mixed up with where they go. Okay. Now I'm just going to add a little bit of the ink around the edges just to take off some of the white. And then I can put this here, see? And right now, I'm not even worried about what the actual stamp says. I just want to glue this down. So let's just add glue to this. You might hear my oven go off because I'm making something in the oven right now. Ooh, that worked out perfect. That worked out perfect, didn't it? Love that. Then we can add a little bit of our splatter stamp in the gathered twigs. And we'll just add a little bit here on the sides, there in the corner. So this top part is done. Now here I did it in, excuse me, I did it in the brown, but I kind of like the way it looks in black. So we're going to do that. Now comes the fun part. We are going to have to ink around because this is going to be like this. So this back part, we'll ink around it in a minute, but I am going to be using this, and this I recently got from Joanne, and this is the Park Lane, and it's just called, no, it doesn't actually have a name, does it? But it's these mini little borders, and I love them. And so I thought that these would be really good to add a little border to this. I think I'm going to use this one because this one's a little bit bigger. So I need to use this stamp block and try to put it on pretty straight. Yeah, that looks good. And I'm just going to go all the way around in the black. And so I'm just going to go around, all the way around, because we need it to look like an advertisement in the back. Kind of like their business card. So I do the sides first, and I try to make sure that it's in the same direction. If you have like a directional type of little border. Okay, and then we'll do the top and bottom. Now the top and bottom, it really doesn't matter to me if it's directional or not. So there's that one. Now I just need a little bit on the bottom. And put that about here. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And I'm actually going to go in the opposite direction. And last little bit. There. Very cool. Let me take off the excess here. I'm done with this one. Let me put this back. I have so many stamp sets. I want to make sure that I know exactly what I'm doing with them. Okay. Now we're going to choose what stamp we're going to put in the middle. Because this is a bigger one, we could put a bigger one here like this. Or if we want to be like super cool, because this one says the Thyssen, we can actually put the whole thing here in the middle so that it's same. You know what I mean? Let's do that. So that it can actually look like if it goes. It's the same company. So I'm going to use my medium size block here. And then we're just going to put it right in the middle. Okay. Let's see if I can get this to look centered while it's a little bit a ways from me. We'll put it right here. Hopefully it's straight. Pressing it down. Perfect. Look at that. Okay. Now I'm going to put this back. And now, let me see what I did with the other ones. Okay. This one already has an address on it, so I'm not going to add that. but I could add maybe like little decorative things on it. So maybe I can add this little thing here on the top, which is the crown and swords. I'm going to use my medium size block for this one, just to kind of give it a little bit of a look on the top. So we're just playing around with our stamps. I love playing with my stamps. And then we can put this here on the top. Okay, there's that. Should we put one on the bottom to make it like even? Let's do it. I feel like advertisements do that. They kind of repeat. All right. Okay, now we're going to add, maybe we can put a date and maybe a year. So let's see. Let's go through our stash here. Now see this, I like this one. This one, sample the signatures from the past too. This one says established in 1852 or copyright 1894. So let's do the established one, and it is an itty bitty little stamp, but I think that kind of goes with the whole company vibe here. We can put that one right on the top, right here. I've learned that with this, the VersaFine Clair, because it's very saturated with ink, you don't have to press down very hard. So let me put this back before I lose this little one. And then maybe we can put this that says number 1022 volume. We can put that off maybe to the side or something. Let's see. Did I put it upside down? Yeah. So maybe we can put that maybe off to the side here. All right. I think we're going to leave it at that. Now, I'm just going to add a little bit of splatters. So let's put this back on here. I love this splatter stamp. And just add a few little splatters. Just a tiny bit, not too much. So you could see a little bit. I don't want it to look messy. And put that top back on. And now this is done. Now let's, wait, did I ink? No. Let me ink around the edges here. Okay. And now we can add this to the front. Now I did do one where I didn't pay attention to the direction of the stamping on the back, and I glued it upside down. Luckily I was able to undo it. So this is the right way. And then we're adding this right here. A little further down. Perfect. Fun. Look at how cool that is. All right, there's that one. Let's do a small one, and we're gonna actually bring out the big guns here. and do the big shot. And we're actually going to cut everything with you so that you could see what I'm doing. So let's put this off to the side, and we're going to make a little one. Look at how fun those are. So let me get out my little pictures here. See, we can use these smaller ones. So let's do her, and we're going to use just a little frame one. I like this one. So we're gonna frame her out so that she fits in the middle. So I'm gonna put this down this way so that she fits right in the middle. And so I'm going to get some tape, tape that down, and don't mind my plates here. I gotta clean them off. And this fits right on here. Because this actually is a frame die, it will cut out the center part, and that's gonna fit perfect. So we don't have any extra bulk. I'm just putting it through a couple times. And here is, let me take this tape off. Carefully. And there is our middle. Now I want to use this color, which is kind of a dark turquoise teal kind of color. And so I'm just going to cut enough just to get the frame cut. So let's do that. And this one is the Tim Holtz Kraft cardstock. So because this is really thick, I actually go through it a couple times just to make sure that it cuts all the way through, because otherwise, see, look, it still doesn't cut all the way through. This thing is so thick, but I like it because I'm able to scratch it and make it look a little bit more distressed. I'm gonna see if I can go through it just a couple more times, see if that helps. I rarely show you the whole process, and so I thought this might be fun because it's not very hard. So let's take this off. It probably didn't help that this was still on here, so there's that mistake. Make sure you clean out your die before you try to put it through. Okay, so let's see if I can, let me cut this out. That's probably why it wasn't going through, so, well, real life mistakes, guys. What are you gonna do? I know we all do it. Save that piece. And now, see if I can pop out the center. Come on, I don't want to have to do this again. Let me, this is exactly why you need to pay attention and clean out your dies, but we're fine. All right, I actually like to keep these because you just never know what you could use them for. So there's that, done with this. So let's put that away. I gotta scrub that. So there is, and look, it fits perfect. See? And then we'll kind of distress it down a little bit. But we do need the back, and we need the actual, see? Let me go turn off my oven. Sorry, guys. Life as a mom of 4. Okay, so here I'm going to see if I can kind of make it the same size as this. I think I did already put down the measurements. So let me get that out, and I'm going to use my Deckle Edge trimmer. So I already have this already cut, so I'm just going to start cutting the sides so that I can get a better idea. Okay, so we have the 3 sides cut. So the top one is going to be, I'm going to do it this way, is going to be 4 1/4. So 4 1/4. Okay, 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. That's going to be the top. Okay, so this is going to be the top layer here. And then the base, let me cut the edges to the base. Make sure that, okay, this is the side that's not cut right. So let's cut it this way. This is the side that I used. So let me just trim it down. And then again, I'd like to do all 3 sides so that I know that I'm measuring pretty accurately. Now this is really loud, but the base is going to be 3 inches by 4 1/2. So let's do the 4 1/2 by 3. Okay, saving my scraps. Now I'm going to get my little scrap here, and I'm going to bring out my little sander, carefully sanding around my frame here. Okay, and then I'm going to go around the edges here. Okay, just a little bit, just so that the edges will be a little bit distressed. So let me blow that off. Now I'm gonna go in, I think, no, yeah, let's go in just kind of, yeah, blending in a little bit of the gathered twigs around the edges. Now I like using this because this paper, because it's colored on one side and then it's cardstock on the other. So it's easy for me to still go ahead and kind of stamp around and still be able to see clearly what you're stamping. So it's not colored on both sides. I love the Kraft paper on the opposite side. So this one we're just going to blend a little bit of that in here. And again, we're just going to do the same thing, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I'm going to blend in a little bit. I'm blending the gathered twigs into the paper first before we put it through the embossing folder. So like that, you can kind of see that it's already colored first, and then we're going to go back in and blend some more on top of the embossed part. You'll see what I mean. And it's going to just bring it out a lot more. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get into the little nooks and crannies of it. So what I'm going to do, let me move things out of the way here, because I need to bring that big shot up here is I'm going to spray the back side and then get my big shot, and I'm going to do it this way. So again, you can tell that my plates are well loved. So I'm not going to need this one or the bottom, just the top, because I'm going to use this one. And because this is one of those thicker ones, then all I need is the bottom and the top, the bottom base and the top. And then I'm going to turn it right side, put it in. Sorry, you're not even seeing. I'm turning it in right side up, and you can tell when your paper, what direction your paper is supposed to be in, because, hold on, I'm trying to get this straight. Because the inked part on your folder is there. See, that one's not inked, this one is. So I'm just going to bring it in, put it in here at a diagonal, because otherwise I'll get scolded. And then I'm just going to bring it through. Bring that back out. Let's see how that did. Perfect. Okay. Let me put these back in here. Take it off my desk. And look at this. I spritzed it so that it won't break. Now, because it's already inked, I'm going to add a little bit more ink on the top and kind of accentuate the embossing. And they're going to look so cool. Look at that. See that? Love the way that looks. See that? All right, we're done with this. Let's close this up. Now we need to stamp. We need to figure out what little stamp we want to put here. Now I like what I did on the other one to where I actually cut it out. See that? I like that. So we're going to do that again. I'm going to get another little piece here and then use a piece of this to kind of make that border. So let's see what stamp we can use that kind of looks like the name. I'm going through my stamps here to see. Doesn't have to be a name. We can put Grand magazines. See, this one is actually this one, and it actually had this, but I took it off. I just only inked the top part here, sorry. And so that's this. But it's like an actual whole stamp. But this one has this that says Grand's magazine. So guess what? Let me see if that'll fit on my little paper here. Barely. Let's try it. Oh, wrong one. I was gonna say, oh my gosh, it's a lot longer than I thought. Wrong one. Let's do this one. And this one is coming off of the Dates from the Past, Part 2. And I'm going to stamp it, getting my long block here. Okay. I'm just going to stamp it on. there's that. And then I'm going to get my little cutter out and cut it out. Think about, I need to make sure that it's even. Okay, now let's cut that strip out. About there. Okay, just trim these little pieces off. Actually, I'm going to trim it right at the letter because I think it's barely going to fit. So let's do the same thing with this. I think I'm going to go ahead and glue this on to my paper. I'm just going to glue it on and then we'll cut around it. And pray for the best here. Okay. And last little cut. Okay. Now let me ink this a little bit. This is a scratch piece, so I'm gonna ink this. And then bring this over. And put this right here. Perfect. Now we can get our frame. Let me ink around her a little bit. Trying to take away a little bit of that. And let me get a napkin. And wipe it off. There, so like that, it's not too white. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this first. Let me get my tweezers. Put this right here. Add this into the middle. Right there. Pressing that down pretty firmly because it's embossed on the back, so you got to make sure that it's actually hitting pretty well. Now, I could have put that little bit further down. I'll just put this right in the middle there. Put this right here. Now here, we get to have fun with it again. Let me get my walnut stain. And with these, we can do something pretty simple. So again, I'm going to use my border. And let's do these florals. and then just add here. The top. The sides. I need a scratch piece for the end here. Okay. And then again, these things are getting onto my sweater. Put these here. Nope. Do it this way, Maggie. Get it right. Put it this way. And last one. Again, using my little paper, making sure my leaves are going the same direction, and adding that here. So there is my border. Let me ink this off. Put that back on. And now we can figure out what we want to put on the middle. So let's see. With these, I like to use the ones that are upright. So I think we'll use this one because that's a perfect size for that. So I love these because some are, you know, horizontal and some are vertical. And so we're going to use the vertical one for these smaller ones. It just looks better. I just stuck my finger in the ink. And let's see if I can do it this way. Try to center it. Perfect. Love that. And then let's put maybe like a little number. A little number stamp. This one says number 4. We could put maybe the copyright here on the bottom. Let's do that. Get my smaller. We'll put copyright. We'll put that up here in the top. Just lightly tap it. Okay. Let me take off the rest of the ink on this one. And then there's a number 4 on here. These are so sticky. So we'll add this one to the bottom. Okay, and let's do it over here. Lightly tap. There's that. Let's just add a little bit of the splatter on the back. Since we didn't put any on the front, I guess we could. Just add a little bit. Okay, and let's add a little bit to this one. Let's see, maybe like this. There's that. And we can add the glue, and then we're done. So let's put this on right here. Let's move this a little bit. Come on. See how cute? And that is it. We made 2 under an hour. Not bad, right? So here are the smaller ones, giving you ideas. Here are the bigger ones. Here's the back. So you can do the brown or the black. I feel like the brown looks maybe more authentic, but you can see the black so much better. So there's those. And then we have our smaller ones here. So that's it, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that jazz. And I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.